But this just goes to show you that you can literally wrap anything in one of these and make it work. If you were with me in the bathroom, would you help me? Hey, it's Erica. We're gonna be talking about knot wraps today. When it comes to gift giving at Lush, knot wraps are a dream come true. And we have so many styles to choose from. And because you can pick anything to go into it, the possibilities really are endless. Not only for what you're putting into it, but also how you wrap it up. So some of it may seem complicated, but don't worry, I'm gonna make it easy peasy for you. We're gonna go through a few different styles together. We're gonna start off with some easy ones and build your confidence, get really good with it, and then we will continue on with some more complicated ones. We have done over 500 different knot wraps over the last 15 years from in-house artists and artist collaborations. So we have so many to offer. If you do want to see it, you can go to the Lush website. There is a knot wrap archive and you can actually see all of them, like a giant digital museum. But we're going to be working with a few today. So let's get started. Knot wraps in general are a Japanese influence. In kind of like Edo period, they would take cloths, wrap up their toiletries. They all kind of looked the same, so then they started making them a little more decorative so you could remember which one was which. And so that eventually became a gift-giving tradition. So that's where we have furoshiki. That's where we got the inspiration for knot wraps. And we call them knot wraps because you knot them up, but also because it's not wrapping paper. So this one is actually a Korean influence from a patchwork technique called jogakbo. So jogakbo is a patchwork technique developed around the 14th century of just taking like every little scrap of material that was left and continuing to reuse it as much as possible. So these are just some of the different knot wraps that we've done over the years, and then we're patchwork together. Really cool thing is it's completely reversible. So you can either do it by hand or do it by machine. It's kind of like a flat felled seam, if you sew. I am gonna flip this over into kind of like a diamond shape to me. We're gonna use a real simple shape, literally a book. So this would be good for like books, CDs, if anybody still does those. Any kind of like flat shape, but really like any shape is gonna be fine for this. We're just using a nice easy one right now. This is the Poetry Business Book. It's a brand new book that we have out. It's written by one of our founders, Mark Constantine, together with Deborah Alma. And it's about the art of business. Great read, actually. So I'm just gonna set this down right in the center here. I like to kind of have as much bow room as possible. And that's always gonna be, like if this is tall and this is more narrow, I know that that's gonna be my like more bow room. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna kind of fold this up. And what this is doing is just kind of making this fit a little more neatly. Time to make it pretty for them. Okay, like that. So then we're just gonna take these up, tie them in a knot. That's really all we're doing. What I like to do is just kind of hold these kind of tight in my hands, and that's what's gonna keep everything nice and tidy. Okay, so I'm just gathering it up. I'm just gonna tie it in a knot and make sure, I'm just kind of zhuzhing along the way. So like, see how some of these are white on one side, more colorful on the other side? I just kind of try to stay mindful to make sure that the more colorful side is sticking up, like really nice and tight. I'm gonna do it again. Literally it. Anybody who thought it was complicated, I hope you feel comforted now. And I'm just gonna fluff my bow. It's about the fluffing. See, if you just gave it like that, we're gonna fluff, okay? The single bow. Okay, next up, we are going to do like an over the shoulder bag. You can use this for gifts, but for me, this is like, I'll just throw one of these in my bag, and then when I need an extra shopping bag or something, I'll make this up just on the spot. It's super easy. This is called Metamorphosis. It is, you can see how it's really nice and flowy. It's actually made from recycled bottles. So you can actually see on the tag, this one, because it's massive, you can see how big, this is like picnic. Look at that. So we are gonna wrap this up just using little recycled paper pulp box just to kind of show you what it looks like. So I'm just gonna flip this over. And again, I just like the diamond, just helps to kind of like orient me. I'm just gonna set this right in the middle. Get it like the knot wrap is the diamond and this thing in front of you is square on. So what we're gonna do with this one is we're gonna create the bag of it and then like the shoulder handle part of it. So let's just do the little shoulder handle part of it first. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our corners and we're gonna tie them into a very, like I'm just doing the tippies, just the little tippies. And that's what's gonna give you enough to actually be able to drape over your shoulder, okay? Just like that. And I'm just gonna lay that down for a second. And then I'm gonna grab the other corners and now I'm gonna make like the bag part of the bag. To do that, you can just be really loosey-goosey. And I'm just gonna kind of drape it down because I have this little bit of a smaller bit of product in here. I'm making it a little tighter, but like say you go shopping throughout the day, you can just kind of keep loosening this up and it holds massive amounts of stuff. So knot it, but just like nice and loose. It doesn't have to be super tight. And I'm just gonna kind of tuck these into the bag. Okay. See the vision? Okay, now we're gonna do one called a 4-petal design. Just a really like fun, festive one that really shows off the colors in this one. This is actually made from organic cotton. And you can see there's a little tag right here that just explains it a little bit more. This is a women's group in India called Rewrap. And I think it's just really nice to point this out like as the person's unwrapping the gift because this in itself is kind of a gift within a gift. So, okay, so let's wrap this one up. This one is especially good for like square things. But to me, this is very much also like a kind of go-to, very, very simple wrap that you can wrap like anything. So I've got a few different bath bombs. Back to our classic form. I've got this kind of diamond shape in front of me, and then I'm putting my product square on. This one's especially nice. You got a sun, tells you right where to put it. So I'm putting it kind of square onto myself, and my diamond is in knot wrap. We're literally just gonna like double knot the corners, both sides. So the key thing to me about this one, again, is like just zhuzhing to make sure that the colorful side is showing and keeping it really nice and tight. Like you can see I'm actually like putting some force on this one. And that is what's gonna keep it like sturdy. Okay, all 4 of these little edges are gonna be showing here. I'll zhuzh that in a minute. And then same thing with this one. Sometimes you get a little bit of like extra bagginess here, and that's where I just kind of like to pull it together. And I'm gonna do a knot, and then I'm gonna do another knot just to like make it really nice and secure. Almost there. Petal number 2, petal number 3, petal number 4. This dude looking at you. Okay, that's what we're going for here. All right, the 4 petal. Okay, we have all sizes of knot wraps, as you may have seen. So we've got that like picnic blanket one. We also have a petite one. This one's called Whirly Swirly, and it's really good for just like a single item. So we're gonna do just like a little single bath bomb here. This one is also made from recycled plastic bottles, bottle actually, because it's small, it's just one. So guess what we're gonna do? We're gonna flip this over and put it in a little diamond shape. We're gonna basically roll it up and then tie a little knot, okay? So I've got my bath bomb, but instead of putting it in the middle, I'm just gonna put it kind of here on the edge, and we're rolling. So we're rolling. Just the main thing here, I think, is to kind of keep it tight, because if you just kind of do that and it's got a whole lot of slack in it, it's just gonna jumble around, and that's gonna mean like you're gonna get a little crumbles and stuff like that. See how this is like pretty tight, but this is like, ooh, I can like really stretch it. That's called bias, children. And so we're doing it on the bias. That means you can keep it nice and tight, and it just kind of like conforms to the shape. So I'm actually kind of holding it here a little bit and pulling it, and that's making, you can see how it's all even like bending around the bath bomb. So you can see no matter where it ends, I kind of want it to end, I want this to sit up here because our bath bombs have a flat bottom. So I'm actually just gonna take this and just tuck it a little bit, just so it has like a nice little flat top, so you can just like adjust that however it works. See that? It's just nicer. And then here we go. We're just gonna tie this in a little double knot. And again, I just kind of like to get down close and hold it tight, and that way just nothing can go anywhere. It's so simple. The nice thing about this, I think, of just doing something like a bath bomb, if you feel like you don't have a whole lot extra to spend, or you just want to give like a nice gesture to somebody, you can still really dress it up and make this really like special gift. Et voila. If you wanted to, if these are like, say this is a little longer and these are like too long, you can actually like tuck them back under like that and make like a little more of like a bow. Okay, next I'm gonna show you a 2-bottle wrap. This is really great for shower gels. It's also good for wine. So this is something that you can do with pretty much anything. You just wanna make sure there's enough. We're gonna kind of wrap them this way. There's just like enough to, again, give you that bow. So these are kind of like our mid-size bottles, but if you have larger ones, you might wanna get a slightly larger wrap just to make sure that you've got a lovely fluffy bow at the top. So this one is called Butterfly House. It's screen printed, which is really cute. And I just love these like neon pops of color. One thing that I love about knot wraps is just how you're gonna really mostly see like the edges of it are really nice. You just kind of get to see this like all over design. So this one is just one of my favorites. It's really lovely. And this is also from organic cotton from Rewrap. So, okay, there's a trick to the 2-bottle. Again, I feel like this has become our, this is like our downward dog pose in yoga. This is like our go-to. We're doing it over and over today. So I've got it in a diamond and it's upside down. Okay, here's the thing with bottles though. What we're aiming for at the end is for them to be sitting up like this, like little twins with a little bow at the top, okay? To do that, we're gonna roll it up and then like flip them up. The trick is you have to have space in here, because if you roll them up like this and then you try to flip them up like that, it's just really hard. Shoulder to shoulder, tip them down. So that's about how much I'm gonna want in there. And then I'm gonna fold this in and I'm gonna roll. And again, I'm just gonna, the trick again is to kind of keep it as tight as you can. See how that's in there? Just maintain that distance. So when you get to the end here, you're gonna have your little flap. Ideally, this would be kind of ending on the top here so that when you flip them up, it'll be kind of squished in the middle and then you can keep it really nice and secure. Okay, what I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna take that, get back in here. I just kind of pulled it through like that. I'll adjust that in a second. Okay, so we're just aiming for something kind of like that. So now we've got something like this, little rabbit ears, and we're going to tie them in double knot. Nice and tight. And then one more time. This one does, to me, it takes just a little extra zhuzhing because this bugs me. So I just like to kind of just give it a little extra time. See, I'm like pulling it from the back here and then I'll tuck it in the, now you've got that. And I just kind of tuck it in. Okay. The double bottle. Okay, what's next? Oh, a gift from me. Ah! What is this? Do you know what this is? Comment below if you know what this is. I'm gonna unwrap it later. I don't know what it is either. It feels weird. But this just goes to show you that you can literally wrap anything in one of these and make it work. We're gonna get to that at the end. How about that? We'll open this at the end. That'll be my treat to myself, is to be able to open this later. In the meantime, while we're interacting with each other, I would love it if you would like this video because it makes me feel good and I get to tell my mom. And you can also subscribe and see lots of other things besides me making a fool of myself. You can see lots of other Lush content that I know you adore as much as I do. Okay, see you in a minute. Okay, this is a very special one. This is actually called a Tenugui. You can see it's very long and narrow. It's actually about 3 times more long than it is narrow. This is traditionally more like a dishcloth used in Japan. Think of it for us, maybe kind of like a tea towel, something like that. It's very multi-use. You can use it as a handkerchief, headband, but a dishcloth is probably what most people are using it for. It's also got raw edges, so they're not bound up in a hem, and that way it dries really fast. So that's traditionally what they're used for. This one is called All the Colors. I think you can probably figure out why. And again, it is organic cotton from Rewrap. I'm gonna show you how to wrap up like a big bottle. So this is our Wasabi Shankui shampoo. You can do shower gel, again, bottle of wine if you're taking it to, you know, to a dinner party or something like that. So what we're gonna do is flip you over, and I'm gonna put it up here just to kind of keep this tag nice and tucked away. I'm gonna put it up here, and we're actually just gonna wrap this on like a cape. I'll put you there. I'm just gonna do like a tiny little double knot up here, literally just tying this on like a Superman cape. Okay. Dun, da, da, da. You can see he's already kind of tucking himself together. We're going to wrap it over. And then we're really just going to take this whole tail and twist it. And you know how when you twist something really tightly, it kind of coils back on itself? We're kind of getting to like that point. Okay, I'm gonna do it nice and tight. Okay, so I'm just gonna pull it up. So I'm flipping it up, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go right back through that the little cape knot that I made. That's just gonna kind of secure this together. It's a little tight, but you don't want it to be any looser than that, because the whole thing will just kind of come apart. Okay, look at that, it kind of naturally makes that little curl, which is cool. And then I'm basically just gonna wrap this around the neck of this. And then really from here, it's just kind of about making it look good. So I'm gonna do a couple of ties here and then just basically like tuck it in. Cool, you can play around with it, give it a different shape. You could even like carry it like that. I've even seen people actually like tie up their water bottle like that and like put it on their bike. It's pretty cool. Okay, I showed you one bottle style already, but I'm just gonna show you one more with a little more flair to it. By the way, this one is called Neon Weave. Again, I think you can see why. And this one is giving you that like nice flowiness with 2 recycled plastic bottles. That kind of feel though, that flowiness, that slinkiness is really good for getting like a nice tight bow, which is kind of like what you want for this one. So, downward dog. I've got my diamond shape right here. I'm just gonna put this right in the middle, standing up. And what we're gonna do first is we're just gonna tie a really nice tight bow. The part about this, I know that sounds simple, but the part that's a little tricky about it is what you're trying to do is kind of balance that knot right on the top of this. So if you pull too hard, it's gonna go like that. But it's gonna stay nice and tighty and not too tight where it doesn't slip down. And it probably is gonna slip down a couple times, and I'm probably gonna do it too. And we're gonna make it out of this together. So I'm pulling it nice and tight. Again, see the white parts? I'm just kind of tucking those in. So when I make my knot, it's gonna look nice and colorful. See how it's kind of slipped off a largie? I don't care right now. We're gonna fix it. See? So I'm just gonna lay this down for a second so I can kind of get my bearings here. See how I've got my other little two bits here. So what I'm gonna do is we're basically tying this in the center here. So you've got like a top bow and a middle bow. That's what we're going for. So to do that, I'm just gonna kind of fold that down a little. Just again, to kind of keep the inside bits from poking out. Take that tag, poke it in, and then I'm just bringing it forward. And I'm gonna tie a bow kind of like on the bottle's like chest. Okay. Nice and tight. And then once more. This one takes a little extra zhuzhing. It gives you the wow factor, you know what I'm saying? So I've got a bow. And I've got a bow. See what we're going for here? The double reveal. Bam, bam. Okay, this one I'm gonna show you how to do kind of like a double offset bow, which is really, really lovely. This is our Pretty as a Picture knot wrap, which again is made from 2 recycled plastic bottles, has this really nice kind of like color shift photographic print on it. This is also what my little weirdo secret gift was wrapped in. So very curious about that. I don't know if you have any thoughts on what that is. This one is especially good for pretty structured things. Again, you can make just about anything work, but I'm gonna do another book. This is our True Colors book, which is all about henna. So if you're ever curious about that, or hairdressers of the world out there, if you're curious about henna and the world of synthetic dye and just kind of the differences between the two, this is actually a really good read for you. Also printed in henna ink. Cool. So what I'm gonna do is flip you over. This time, instead of going right for the center, I'm actually gonna offset it a bit. Okay, so if this is center, clearly center of the sunflower here, rather than putting it right here, I'm actually just gonna offset it a little bit, push it a little higher. And then the first bow I'm gonna make is, instead of being center, is actually gonna be a little bit up here. So when you push it up, it's just gonna make the tails work out nice and evenly, that this one can go a little further and this one can't go as far. And it just works out perfectly. Okay, so that first one, there we are, kind of up here. And I'm gonna pull it nice and tight. Again, that's the really nice thing about this kind of slippy recycled plastic fabric. You can actually pull quite tightly and it just conforms to whatever you have. Again, I'm just gonna turn that over, make it nice and colorful. You're gonna see all of this. So the next one I'm aiming for, I kind of want it to be a little bit down here. See how now it's becoming offset, bow here and a bow here. I'm just gonna double knot it. Again, this one does take a little zhuzhing, fluffing, flouncing. That's nice. Easy peasy. You might have been wondering why these have been sitting here. It's because my adoring fans brought them for me. Just kidding. We're gonna show you how to wrap them up as well. For this one, I'm gonna use Under the Orange Tree. This one, I would definitely be sitting under an orange tree on this and just enjoying a book or something like that. But I'm gonna show you how to wrap these flowers up. Again, this one is made from recycled plastic, 6 bottles this time. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna flip it over and I'm gonna take these opposite edges here and just make like I'm just making a knot on each one of them. I'm just doing opposite edges. Da, 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 da. Do you buy flowers for yourself? I need to do that more. I feel like it's such a lovely thing to have fresh flowers in the house. So you're I'm imagining a Parisian moment where you're biking home with these. So I'm just gonna lay this down with this knot kind of like at the head of this here. And I'm really just creating like a little cuddle for this. So I'm just gonna tie these sides together, not too tight because you don't wanna damage any of the blooms. Again, just double knotting it. This is totally like your bicycle basket. Okay, then I'm just pulling this up. I'm just gonna kind of tuck it under. That's it. Just creating a nice little like blousey. It's a blouse. It's a flower blouse. It's a bouquet blouse. That's what we're doing right now, okay? This is glamour incarnate. Look at that. Darling. Invite me to your dinner party, please. Okay, we're getting into homewares now. I'm gonna show you how to do a little cushion wrap. This is especially nice if you want to decorate for the season. Like for instance, this is last Christmas, we had this, is called Be Bright knot wrap. This is, again, organic cotton lawn is what the kind of fabric is called. But this is really nice if you have just like your all year round pillows and you just wanna give like a quick little snap of festivity. This is 100 centimeters, which is like about a little over a yard or a meter. Okay, so what I'm doing is, again, I've got my diamond. I'm putting my pillow at the square in the center. And for this one, I'm just gonna kind of fold that over. We're gonna make, it's like almost like a little envelope kind of look. And then I'm just gonna tuck that and fold this other side over. See what we've got going on here? I'm just gonna fold these up and knot it up. It's so easy to fold a pillow. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. So you can leave it like that. This one, I actually didn't get this one last year. I don't have this one, but I always have knot wraps for like all my family does knot wraps for Christmas now. And so it's also just really nice because you can just like year after year, just keep them and collect them. If you didn't get a chance to get this one, there's going to be adorable new cute ones this year, but yeah, there's a giving aspect to them, and then there's like a keeping and collecting aspect to them. I'm definitely a keeper and a collector of these, so they just kind of build up over time in the best way. But there'll be new ones this year. Okay, now that we have been wrapping a bunch of things, now I'm going to wrap me. I'm going to make a little headband for you. This one is called Joyous Springtime. This is also made with organic cotton, and it's got a nice like crisp, it's like poplin. So to do a basic headband, this is something you could totally do for a day out, working in the garden. If you can wear it with your hair up, you can wear it with your hair down, it really doesn't matter. You can also even just do it to like clean your face at night. What I like to do is kind of go part way, because if you start folding, sometimes this part starts creeping out. So I like to do it like that. You can do it as wide or as narrow as you want. If you do it wide like that, that's usually better for like when your hair is up and you can really get like a nice full thing. If it's more, if your hair is down, you probably want it to be a little more narrow, because otherwise it's gonna like push all your hair up and it just doesn't really work. So I'm gonna go for about that much. Okay, and I'm just rolling. I'm folding actually is what I'm doing. I'm folding. Okay. Once I get to the end here, I just kind of like to make sure like this part is against my head, and that just kind of keeps it from flapping in the wind. Because this is sticking out just a little bit from my fold, you can see there, I'm actually just gonna tuck that under. Now to put this in, you can do a couple different things. You can put it right on top of your head and roll it under. But I am going to, I like a little bow at the top. Okay, so I've got it under my neck. Basically, all you're gonna do, I've got a mirror over here, that's okay. Nice and tight. However, too tight and it'll slip off your head. So just again, find the balance. So now I've got two little bunny ears. That way I can use them and really make them into like a proper bow if I want to. Again, just by kind of tucking it in and then like just kind of fan that out a little. Or you can also just leave them. I think that's cute too, honestly. A little like that. Isn't that cute? Okay, that's about it. And now my treat is that I get to open my gift, which is under here. All right, what is this? This was something that we actually got out of our archive, which is a beautiful place for storytelling the history of Lush. It's got like all these, just like every event that's ever happened, every little company that came before Lush, that became Lush, is from there. I've got a little story, okay. Oh, I know what this is. This is from Team Korea. This is actually like window decals. So they've recycled, like upcycled them into these adorable little bunnies. That is not what I expected to see, and I am delighted to have spent this time with you. I hope that was fun for you. You can look up books, look up our book. You can look for videos. You can do lots and lots of different things with these. I hope this was helpful for you. It's all about the zhizhen. It's all about the little details. And that'll just really make the whole experience special for you and for them.